on this computer. Okay. So I have saved this. We have new. It will open. We have to go to current. I'm finding the Sudoku Maker. Okay, here is a Sudoku Maker. This is like I put up a PDF, but the shaded ones will be different. And let's see how you would solve this puzzle. Well, you'd get something like this, and then you can keep the shaded squares in reserve. You want to keep them in reserve, but you have no choice about the white one, the white squares. You have to coerce their values, logically speaking. And the rule is the numbers 1 through 6 have to be in each of the squares that have the heavy outline, and 1 through 6 in each row and column with no repeats. So you can't have like 1, 1 or 1, 1 or repeated anywhere in the column or row. So the way you do it is you say, okay, if I choose one here, that's going to rule out these white squares. I can keep these 2 in reserve. Like if I put a 2 here, I can say, okay, I have control of those. I can decide not to put a 2 there. That means a 2 can't go there, there, or there, but there has to be a 2 in this square. So it's logically coerced to be there. Then you can look down and see, well, does this coerce anything else? For example, here, well, I can't put a 2 there, but I have 3 squares. I can't put a 2 there or there, but then I have those open. The same thing for all of these, that I don't get any more values from this, but I do see that I might be able, like down here, if these 2 are out, I do need a 2 in this square. And so if I put a 2 here, then that means that this can't be a 2. From the 2 up at top, these can't be 2s. So that forces this to be a 2. Now, in the second row here, this 2 means there can't be a 2 here. There can't be a 2 here. The only place for a 2 is here. Because of this 2, I can't have a 2 in the bottom square. I can't have a 2 here. I'm forced to have a 2 there. Therefore, now I'm finished with 2s. And I've used only 2 shaded squares to coerce 4 white ones. There's no logical, in other words, if I put 2 here and 2 here, and then let's say I erase these and thought, where can I put 2s? Well, I have to put, and these are something, the shaded ones are something else besides 2s. I have to put a 2 there. I have to put a 2 there. I have to put a 2 there and there. So in the sequence, I'd recover these 4 white square 2s from just those 2, because I haven't done any guessing. Then I'd continue from there and choose another number. Like I'd want to look for, like for example, have another place here. If I choose one here, that'll coerce this square. So I could choose, say, 5 here. So we are supposed to make only one Sudoku puzzle right. Yes, on the thing, I'll give you a page like this, and you'll use this to create your puzzle, like this, where you fill in all this and you'll make it complete. Then down here, you'll just copy just the shaded squares. All the shaded squares will be filled in down here, but the white ones won't. So this is your puzzle. This is your Sudoku puzzle that you've created. Now, it's correct if there's only one solution. That's correct. It's incorrect if there's no solution. That is, you can choose these numbers so that there would be no possible solution, that there'll be no way. For example, here, if I put a 2 here, then there'd be no way to have a 2 here, and you'd have no solution. So you can make a move so that you get contradiction. That, because what you're doing with here, you're dealing with a whole raft of propositions, and you have to make all of them true. And so it's possible for you to assign numbers to make some of those propositions true. The proposition is every square here has to have the numbers 1 through 6. Okay, that's one possibility. The second one is multiple solutions. It's easy, for example, if I wanted to just create a puzzle, I could to create one that's guaranteed of having at least one solution. I think I can do something like this: 3, 4, 5, 6. Then 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Let me see, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. And then I could erase these. And it looks like I have a puzzle. But this is almost guaranteed to have multiple solutions. So, well, let me see. I think I made a mistake. I can't quite do this because this has, you know, I mean, it seemed to work, but then you can see right away there's a contradiction. I've got 2 1s here. So you have to do something a little bit more. Like if I have 1, 2, 3, I have to start with 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, but I can rotate them around. So if you do something like some kind of pattern thing, that's not going to work. Like you'll end up with multiple solutions. And you might get some points for that. Like if I have multiple solutions, if it's just a random multiple solution, lots of them, then you won't get any points. But if you've constrained most of them and have made a mistake at the end, excuse me, you might get 8 or 9 points. Okay, so and the demonstration is timed the same way it works before. It opens up at 3, closes at 12. You have 5 hours. And but it shouldn't take, there's like 10 questions, so you should have time, if you understand stuff, to sort of go through, save your answers. Also, what you do for this one is then you would download the puzzle from regex and then fill it out and turn it in on Piazza by the same due date. Yeah, 5 hours. It shouldn't take you 5 hours. On the other hand, though, if some people will use all 5 hours, if you have them, I mean, each question you shouldn't have to use 5 hours to do the questions. Some of them will be very simple. Some of them might be just filling out a truth table. Also, you can use all the resources, just to be clear, you can use all the resources, like all the programs on Vera Virtual. You can use all the notes, the videos, the resources on regex. Yes, it's a time-consuming process to solve this puzzle, you mean? Yeah, it takes some time to do that. So if you haven't done it before, yeah, so that's why we practice Sudoku. Someone says if we don't know Sudoku, yes, you have to have practiced Sudoku. There is on, let's see, under regex, there's a practice thing to practice where you can practice. So that was one of the earlier things we went over. This was that you need to practice Sudoku in learning, and we went through, like, here's a 6, let me see, where is it, a 6x6 puzzle. Okay, so you can go through and practice. It works the same way with these ones, that you look through and try to see where there is a constraint, because you can't guess on any of these ones here. Well, there's no Guido on this test. Yeah, so this is one thing to practice, is to practice like taking the applications there and seeing where, for example, here, there's a 6 there, there's a 6 there. So this one here has to be a 6. So this isn't the full Sudoku. Remember, this is like a 6x3 one that's much easier. The usual Sudoku puzzles that you see are 9x9, and they're much harder. These ones in general are much easier. And you might start with, well, let's say new game. Let's see. You might start with a 4x4 one, like this, and try to solve this puzzle, because this is going to be much easier than, for example, this one here rules out a 1, and you put a 1 there. This one rules out everything but a 1 there, and the only place for a 1 is there, and you've done 1s. And then this 2 means that you have to have a 2. Well, you can't have, you already have a 2 there. Let's see. There. You right click to get rid of that. Okay, but there has to be a 2 here, so you have to have a 2 here. So if you go through, you could end up using this one and then do the 6x3 one, and that's how you have to practice to make. And yes, the idea is that the process of solving a puzzle is identical to the process of making a puzzle. So that's why if you understand how to do this puzzle, it's the same logic of making this puzzle here, that you have to choose a number here. For example, like we did the 2s here, and then you keep going with the 5s, and you realize that okay, I don't know. The only thing to do is to practice. So any other, watching me do it won't help. You have to actually have spent the time to do this sometimes and practice both learning Sudoku a little bit with these smaller puzzles and then going and practicing making one. So other questions, further questions? Well, we're about out of time, but we'll continue with this on Friday. But do come by office hours. I mean, the office hours are tutorial hours. They're meant to be places where you can come to get help solving problems, they're not extra. I'm there to help you answer questions, go over problems. You know, some people just come and work on problems in the background. So it's like that. Since we don't have students that you can go to for, to help you with this stuff as much. The office hours every day are at 1:15 to 2:15, except on Friday when they're from 2 to 3. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 1:15 to 2:15. And sometimes I stay later. So if you come at 2 o'clock, I'll be happy to stay later also on Tuesday and Thursday, I'm coming from Mass Bay. So I aim for 1:15, but it might be 1:20. So you might have to wait for 5 minutes. Or if you come at 1:20, then you're more likely not to have to wait. So let me